Hey everyone, and welcome to my review of The Last of Us Part 2. This is my first ever review video, and in this, I will try to give my honest opinion about the game based on my playthrough and experience. Before I get into the details of the review, I would like to warn all the viewers that this video will contain spoilers, and please do click away if you don't want to be spoiled. Now, since that's out of the way, let's get started. This game has already divided the gaming community into two, though this wouldn't be what Naughty Dog meant by when they said that the game will be divisive. One side, people are praising the game as a masterpiece. On the other hand, people hates the game to such extent that they're willing to send death threats. And I'm sure this is definitely not what Naughty Dog meant when they said that this game will be about hate. A little bit of a background before I go into the actual review. So the release of the game was led by a series of really strange events. The game was initially set to release on May 29th this year, and right after the start of the pandemic, Naughty Dog announced that the game has been indefinitely delayed and they started issuing refunds for anyone who had pre-ordered the game from the PSN store. Soon after, there was a 90-minute video which was leaked by an alleged disgruntled employee, and the leak contained major plot scenes from the game. Majority of the people who watched the leaks expressed their dissatisfaction on social media, and there started the hate towards the game and Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog started taking down all the leaks from the internet as expected, and surprisingly started taking down videos which spoke about the leaks itself. This created more hatred towards Naughty Dog. Meanwhile, Naughty Dog made an announcement that the leaks were a work of some outsider and not by a Naughty Dog employee. And out of nowhere, they announced that the game is ready and will release on June 19th. Fast forward to present day. So I just finished playing the game on moderate difficulty on the PS4 Pro, and took me over 25 hours to complete the game. The game is no doubt a technical marvel. It's graphically the best looking game of this generation. The gameplay is a step up in all departments from the first game. It keeps you at your toes at all time, and it will definitely test your stress levels. As you get into combat encounters to fight the human enemies like the WLF, Seraphites or the Rattlers, or even the different types of infected, the game makes you think and act in different ways, as you're always presented with different challenges every time. Supplies are scarce, and you will need to search every nook and corner to find whatever you can get. The jump scares are the best I have come across in any game. Even though I was ready on many occasions, Naughty Dog outdid me. There are moments in the game that definitely raises your heartbeat and gives an impact of what a really good horror movie would give. The level designs are very well done, and the ability to go prone and slip through narrow areas while in combat are great additions. Can't really say the same about the jump button, though it's helpful in some traversal areas, but in general it's definitely a miss. The dodge mechanics, though it works well on occasions, but it does feel kind of forced. The puzzles are very well designed, and unlocking saves does require a bit of a thought to be put into, since it doesn't do the hand holding as we have seen in other games. The accessibility and the difficulty options made available in the game is commendable, and I feel many other developers does need to adopt the same. The environment and the world is the best we have seen in a linear game so far, and Naughty Dog has done a brilliant job at depicting the dangerous world. The Seattle section of the game is more of an open world design in nature, similar to the Madagascar level in Uncharted 4. As I was playing through the game, I was excited just imagining playing multiplayer on some of the sections, and I feel it would make some great maps in the multiplayer mode. By the way, Naughty Dog has mentioned that they are working on a multiplayer section of the game, and they will announce more details in a future date. So for anyone who's looking for an intensive gameplay and want to experience Naughty Dog's best creation in terms of graphics and animation, I will definitely recommend this. But there is one aspect of the game which I had to overlook to enjoy it thoroughly, and that was the story. If this was an individual game by itself, I would have had no issues with the narrative Naughty Dog had taken. But as a person who didn't feel a need of a sequel, especially the way after the first game ended, and then being presented with a story that shifts its focus to a completely different perspective, was a big disappointment. The story is a complete deviation from the first game. I was actually looking forward to know what happens to the father-daughter relationship, how the decision to save Ellie in the first game instead of finding a cure will turn out. How will Ellie react to find out that she was lied to by Joel about her immunity? Naughty Dog, for some strange reason, decided to give all of this second priority. The focus is shifted around the revenge story of a daughter whose father was one of the doctors whose Joel kills in an attempt to save Ellie in the first game. Moreover, you are forced to play as the daughter, Abby, for a good portion of 10 hours to show the reason behind her motive and an attempt to make the players sympathize with her. In fact, the best part of the stories are the flashbacks between Ellie and Joel, which happens during the timelines of the first game. Why would Naughty Dog want to introduce a new character and make us play as her after killing a beloved character? What was the purpose behind all of this? Was this the best story that they could come up with, which would fit the ending of the game? I don't know. Some of the scenes in the game seems to be added for pure shock value. The nature of Joel's death, the deaths of Jesse and Yara, the sex scene between Abby and Owen, and some dialogues to name a few. Also, the characters whom we have known from the first game reacts completely off character in this one. Also, sudden change of minds by the characters without any real context adds to the frustration. Abby's character model is another topic which has been discussed a lot in social media and in the internet. It just seems very unlikely for a person to maintain that type of a body type during the difficult times in that pandemic world. It does get in your way while you play, and the sex scene doesn't help in any way either. I'm fine with inclusion in video games, but it shouldn't be forced or it shouldn't be in your face at all the time. So my rating for the game is 8 out of 10. The negative points are only because of how weak the main story is, especially as a game which is supposed to be heavily narrative driven. By the way, I've spoken to many of my friends and there are many who has in fact loved the story. So do check out other review videos on YouTube and on the internet before you make a decision. As I mentioned, I really enjoyed the gameplay sections and I'm looking forward to the multiplayer portion, and I will be investing a huge amount of time on it once it's out. Thanks everyone for listening. Do keep the support going and it will motivate me to make more videos in the future. Do let me know what you guys feel about the review and about the game. Till I see you guys in the next video, it's me, Sherry, signing off. Take care and stay safe.